So now let's see what else. All right. Number 12. Closing the 7 openings of the head with your hands. And then the space between your eyes will become all-inclusive. You know what that means already, don't you? Yeah? All this is boiled down to wisdom center. A different way of, talking about it. Just like I talk so many things, but it boiled down always to Kuan Yin method. I go to make different lectures, different tempting dishes, but only after, at the end, I give them only one. Kuan Yin method and the light. Okay, now, number 13. This is for the people who probably cannot concentrate well, so using different kind of helping tools, Just like sometimes people write to me and say, well, it's very difficult for them to concentrate on the light. So I say, well, scratch your wisdom eye a little bit, or just touch it with a point, with a fingernail, or a pin if you can bear it. But don't make yourself bleed. Don't bleed from here, okay? Just touch it so that you remember. It's one of the methods, right? Or sometimes somebody, Shiva doesn't say it here, but I have many more methods than this. For example, when I walk around the meditation hall and I see some people just sit there and deep samadhi with the head, with the head turning here and there all the time. And then I just pat them on the crown chakra, and then back he concentrated again. But that method Shiva did not write here. I'll tell him he has to modernize more than that. Because in the old time, perhaps people don't sleep so much like this time. And in this time, people have, air condition and heating system, so it's very comfortable. So people tend to be too comfortable. So we have to use many more methods. So he say, and number 13, he say, if you cannot concentrate while meditating, perhaps, then you can touch your eyeballs lightly, light as a feather. And then maybe at that time you will see the light. Yeah, I think so. I think you should rub your eyes more likely because you always sleep. If you touch as a feather, I think you could not even move. You rub it, with your gloves and everything. What he says was for the old time people. But nevertheless, you may try. If you cannot concentrate, the effort that you use with your fingers to touch your eyeballs as light as a feather, it must be concentration. You know what I mean? It's just a trick to bring your mind back into focus. So it's pretty good, So when you are already, all kind of topsy-turvy thinking back and forth from Germany to America and then back to the bathroom and back to the eating room again, and then if you can even be concentrated enough to put your hand as light as a feather, so rub a hand like yours to put on there, as, light as a feather, then at least you're back again, to the meditating business. So I think the master was very clever, Shiva was very, very clever. He destroyed all kind of bad habits and negativity within us, using all kind of method. Now, number 14. Bathe in the center of a sound, the continuous sound such as waterfall, or maybe seashore, Or if you cannot because sometimes in the public, you know, then you cannot do the Kuan Yin, huh? Then if if you are at the seaside, perhaps you bathe yourself in the sound of the universe, yeah, of the nature. Like when you are next to the Nicaragua fall, then you concentrate on the sound until you merge within the essence behind the waterfall, behind nature. There is the force behind all trees and waters and rivers and rocks and mountains. Then you concentrate behind that. By hearing the sound of the waterfall and concentrate on the force behind that, you will merge within the cosmos again. Or if not, if you can, then do the Kuan Yin. He says so. Well, he described in detail, but I won't say it here. You know already, so I don't have to tell you how to do it. Or do the Kuan Yin and hear the sound of all sounds. You know now what that is, okay? Well, I can show it to you what he say, but don't let the other people know. All right, do the Kuan Yin and hear the sound of all sounds. Now it should be very clear to you as the water of the Nectar River. Is that not? Yeah. Now, on number 15. Intone a sound, like the names of, you know, the 5 names, and let it be very slow, repeating slowly, and enter the soundlessness, and become yourself. Sometimes you remember, you say you can't concentrate, and you are disturbed, and this and that and other. So I would advise you to repeat the holy names for sometimes, maybe 15 minutes, maybe half an hour, maybe an hour, loudly, while no one else around you. So you won't disturb people, and also you don't leak out your secret. Don't let people know that you are at the moment in difficulty of concentrating while they are in the 5th samadhi. If you sit on the bus and intone these 5 names and try to concentrate with your eyebrow knit together, do you think the people will not put you in somewhere? You know where? Right? Yeah. Not talking about you disturbing the whole bus and maybe drive the driver crazy. Therefore, these things we have to do alone. Yeah, because this is our private business. When we have difficulty in concentration, it's our private problem, right? We don't disturb other people's ears. And other 5th level or 6th level, how do you say, masters, yeah, around us, like those. Yeah, I'm not sure whom, but like those, for example, huh? All right. But then you enter the soundless state and become yourself. Number 16. Oh my God, only 16, 112, my goodness. I don't know, he talks so much. I didn't know the old-time God spoke so much. What we call big mouth in modern time. I never talk so much. I teach you only 1010 and he teaches you so much. Okay. Originally, I intended not to speak at this retreat because I just don't know what to say anymore. I thought whatever I have to say, I say already. And so you have to practice. There's no need to listen all the time, but to bring what you have heard into practice. That's more useful to you. But I feel a pressure, you know, like everybody sit there in silence and keep repeating, Master, say something. Master, speak up. Master, it's time. Lecture time or not? Oh, and I feel so tremendous pressure, you know. So I gave up, surrender to your will. I said, okay, then I will say something, you know. And that's how it ends up in me talking like this. it's more difficult to remain silent than to speak to you. So I thought, okay, never mind, give them something. And then they all be quiet. Because we are used with listening, hearing. And so we cannot accept the silence. Very difficult. Yeah, maybe after 3 years you get used to it. But I don't know what you do meanwhile. And I don't know what I do meanwhile. We both will probably get on each other's nerves, having so much pressure. Like the 4 monks who vowed to have a silent retreat for 7 days. But then when they sit together, and then suddenly there's a monk who spoke up saying, you know, in this retreat, you should remember, none of us can speak anything. And then the second one said, why are you speaking now? And the third one said, my God, you both broke the precept. And the fourth one said, I never said anything. I'm the only one who haven't spoken at all. All right. I'm also the only one who never spoke here. Okay. Suppose it's difficult for you to concentrate again. You may choose any of a letter, yeah, and try to follow through with the beginning and the gradual refinement of the sound of that letter, and then be awake. Yeah. Perhaps when you're sleeping, and then try to awaken yourself. Very difficult. So try to do something new, yeah? Like inventing a letter, an A or an Om or something, and try to follow through in the beginning as, you know, only in your mind. Don't disturb neighbor. If you're alone, you can. Then you follow through with first very crude sound of the letter by spelling it out in your mind or loudly, and later finally refine it until silence. At that time, then you'll be awake. Perhaps, or awakened, or at least awake from your samadhi. Number 17. While listening to any string instruments, try to hear the composite central sound, and thus become omnipresent. Or at least be one with the omnipresence, or at least remember the omnipresence. Because when we go to the concert, yeah, or go to theater, perhaps it's difficult to concentrate on the light. Then you won't see anything. So you have to listen to the music. But then try, while listening to the music, try to remember the central note, the noteless note of all the music. And then at that time, perhaps you will enter the omnipresent as well. So while you're watching the theater going on, or while listening to the music, you are within yourselves and not lost in the merriment of the ephemeral nature of the world. Capish? I hope I make it clear. Oh my God, he talks a lot. We're still 18 only. Oh, I dare not let any further. I dare not turn the pages. Oh my goodness. Ooh. See that? Oh, we can make it tomorrow night again. Huh? Yeah, sure. Oh, it's nearly 9 o'clock, Mike. Thanks God. Thanks God that somebody invented the clock. Why, I spoke since 7:30, huh? It's 1.5 hours already. for my small size. There's a lot. Now, number 18, you can concentrate or divert your mind from all this topsy-turvy thinking by intoning a sound audibly, and then less and less as your feeling deepens into this silent harmony. First you intone audibly, and then less audibly, until you enter the silence and become harmonized with the universe. That's just how you concentrate sometimes. We can concentrate on our 5 holy names in this way. And no need to search elsewhere. Since it is already very difficult for you to remember the 5 names, I think you should not have to include another name or another letter to make more confusion. So if you remember, then do that. If you remember. If you cannot, of course, then grab anything that your mind just think at that moment. Stop him. Stop him right there and just do our business. And let him forget that what he wants to wander and where he wants to go to. The mind always wants to go somewhere and do something inside. So we stop him right where we remember. And turn around, concentrate. Probably at that moment he was thinking of ice cream. So if you continue to follow him, he will bring you to the ice cream shop next. And then will enter your pocket and your time into that ice cream cone again. So the moment he think of ice cream, if you are meditating or at home, and if you don't want to go out in the cold weather to fetch ice cream, if you don't want to waste your time on that, or if you say tomorrow I go to town and by the way I will feed you ice cream. So now you turn the ice cream letter into screaming loudly, and then follow the letter until it's less and less loud until you enter your harmony again. And that's how we turn around and have victory over the wandering mind. Number 19, I speak until 9 o'clock, okay? Now you watch for me. 5 minutes and I stop that right there, okay? Number 19, you can also concentrate by imagining the spirit simultaneously within and around you until the entire universe become spiritualized. Wow, that's difficult or not? Can do, huh? Can do. Try. Sometimes when you meditate, you cannot have your mind settle down so quickly. Then just fantasize for a while. Imagine that the Master is around you. Imagine that the Supreme Master within you are all over the universe, and then enter that spiritualized personality of the inner Master. Then you also feel comfortable. At least your mind has something to think about. It has something to think all the time. So make him think what you want, instead of let him think of all kind of worries and anxieties and all kind of useless things that we can never do anything about. We let him think of the Master. Imagine the grand spirit of the Master is within us, without us, surround us, and all over space and time, until we enter that spirit. Then we are in samadhi anyhow, right? So that's how we use the mind's ability to defeat himself, to defeat the mind itself. Perhaps that's what the Master meant. Perhaps, okay?